Hey everybody, welcome to TPG's World. It's me, TPG. I am here to do another video. It is the 29th of May 2021. Happy almost Memorial Day to you. This is probably going to be a pretty hard video for me to talk about because I want to kind of explain where I've been and what's been going on with me and a few other things and things like that. I want to talk about, first of all, I want to talk about a lot of things that have been going on with me recently in my life and why I haven't been making some videos and things like that. And one of the biggest things I want to talk about is anxiety. I know a lot of you guys know that recently I have been going through some anxiety issues, and anxiety is not a new thing to me, but anxiety to this point of anxiety and dealing with anxiety the way that I have been dealing with anxiety, and see, just talking about it's got me sweating, guys. It's crazy. To the point that I'm talking about anxiety and dealing with anxiety and dealing with depression and the things that I'm dealing with. This is all new to me right now, so I am going through a lot of changes and things like that with my body. So it is very new to me. Yes, guys, I did shave again. You know, I hate that double chin feeling. It's something that I have anxiety about again. You see, it's like, I accidentally shaved when I was trying to trim up my beard. But anyway, see, I'm getting off track. Let me talk about what's going on, because it is very important to what is going on right now with me and where I've been and what I'm going through, because it is so important I talk to you guys, because it has been hell for me the last especially the last 4 days, but just the last couple weeks. So anyway, I was on medication. I was on Zoloft for a while, and I was actually feeling pretty good, but I was trying to get them to put me on another drug called Adderall, because I wanted to feel a little more peppy and be able to do a little bit more, because I had no energy and sorry, I'm spraying, I'm just so I'm so manic right now. I wanted to have Adderall. I wanted to have something more, to have a little oomph, to be able to do a little bit more, because I had no oomph or no power, no nothing. So I wanted something kind of peppy to give me a little bit of like pep in my step. And Zoloft was making me very like lethargic and very calm. I mean, it was working. It was making me calm. It was making me feel good. It was making me, feel good and not so everything was rolling off my chest and everything was great. Was I still depressed? Maybe. I wasn't really thinking much about it, I guess. I mean, everything felt good. I was okay. Kind of kept me numb. I was numb, I guess. And numb is not where you need to be with anxiety, to me. It's not dealing with it. It's kind of hiding it. So it was okay. So anyway, I went to my doctor and I told her I didn't like it. I wanted to get off of it. So she put me on a drug called Seroquel. Now, Seroquel was a drug that I was on years ago, and I told her this. And not my therapist. This is not my therapist. I love my therapist. This was my doctor. The woman who prescribes me pills. And I told her I didn't like it. I had a bad reaction to the Seroquel before, and I did not want to be on the Seroquel. I said, I cannot do this. It was really, 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 really bad. I do not want to be on this. Please don't put me on this. Find something else. And she's like, let's try it, let's try it, let's try it, let's try it. It'll help you drop weight, blah, 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 blah. I was like, okay, but I don't want to be on this. I had some bad reactions to it last time. We're going to be on it. Oh, we're going to try it. Okay, so whatever. I'm willing to do whatever. I just want to feel better. I'm tired of being depressed. Apparently, I want to have some motivation. I want to feel better. I'm just tired of feeling bad. So I'm going through this bad depression. I'm working this job, this endless job at school with these teachers that just make you feel bad all the time, and they don't care how they make you feel. They really don't. They don't give a shit. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. They really don't. And they think because they're more educated than you or something like that, they just don't care. They don't give a shit. And so sometimes it does make you feel bad, and it's like they almost disregard how you feel, and it's like they have no disregard for other people's feelings. And they forget that even though it's a classroom and even though you're there to educate, you still are human, and you still do have feelings, and you are there to do a job, but it is still a classroom, and it's still human, and you still have to walk away in the end a human with human feelings and real human feelings. And when you constantly belittle a person, or you berate a person, or you degrade a person, it tends to stick with that person for a long period of time, and it tends to berate that person, and it tends to let's turn the lights back on. Some things are better left not in the dark. It tends to really sink into that person, and so this has happened to me for the off and on last year, and certainly off and on this year. And so you tend to start believing things in yourself, and no matter how hard you try to physically put yourself there, no matter how hard the person says you should lose, but yet it's constantly there, and it's hard to move past that when people keep constantly throwing that at you. Even when they're saying they're not, they deep down inside are. I don't know if it's a power struggle. I don't know what it is. I know that I'm fucking good at what I do. And this is probably the most I've ever cussed. So you know that my anxiety's out of control, guys, because I don't cuss a lot, especially in my videos. You see how manic I am. I'm shaking. I'm all over the place, guys. But anyway, so let's get back to this video. I know that I'm good at my job. I won't talk about my job in this. Anyway, so this Seroquel ended up, I took it for a couple of weeks. The first, she started me off on 300 milligrams. Let's talk about this. She started me for the highest freaking dose. I was like Night of the Walking Dead. I was like, we had a sub come in, and I literally was like falling asleep. I could barely hold my eyes open. Well, first of all, before the sub ever came in, the whole weekend, Gabe said I slept like the entire weekend. Like I slept like every day. By the time I was awake, because my friend Caroline had a party, and I stayed awake apparently for that, barely. I was slurring my words. My friends asked if I was drunk, which is funny because my friends know I don't drink, so it was kind of funny that they would even ask if I drink, because I don't drink, but that's what they thought because that's the way I sounded. Which is funny, you know, so because I couldn't even make words. So then I told her about it. So then she lowered me down to 150, which again was still. I went back to work at Target, and she was like, "What's wrong? What's wrong?" You know. So that was even making me worse. And I've talked about this in my video, so you guys know this is not crazy what I'm talking about. So that made me even worse. And then I ended up with that. It was like still too much. You know, teacher I work with is worried about what's going on with me. Everybody was worried about it. People thought I was either drunk or messed up or something was going on, and I was like, I'm not. So I wrote to her, and I was writing to her every day at recess because at work I don't get a lot of signal on my phone, so you know, the only time I really get time to use my phone, excuse me guys, see again, manic, the time I get to use my phone is at recess. So when I get time to use my phone is at recess because I get signal, because as again I'm with T Maybe, and T Maybe barely works. Hello T Maybe. And so I would write her at recess, and I'd say, hey, help, I need help, you know, this is not working. So she would lower me. So she lowered me down to 50. And before this happened, when I was on the 300 to the 150, I ended up in the emergency room. I told you guys about that. I guess I did. I told you guys I became very impacted. I was unable to go to the bathroom. I started bleeding. I was hemorrhaging. I ended up in the emergency room. All of this was from the Seroquel. So finally I wrote her, I said, look, I physically cannot take this medication. It's making me like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I cannot do it anymore. It's making me very moody. It's making me snap at people. It's making me I don't like the way it's making me feel. And I understand that you're the professional, but I know my body, and I know what my body feels, and I know how I'm feeling right now, and I cannot do this. I cannot anymore physically do it. So I told her I couldn't do it. Now the bad part was I had a bottle of Zoloft here, an old bottle, and when I started the Seroquel, I threw the Zoloft away, which was the stupidest thing I probably could have ever done in my life. I wasn't thinking, and I did it. Threw it in the trash can, said I won't need it anymore. Well, now I'm like, have not had. So she's like, well, you know, I said, well, can I go back on the Zoloft? She's like, yeah, sure. Well, you know, with it being Memorial Day weekend, they're off, and so I don't have any anxiety medication until Tuesday. So I'm up to here. Actually, I'm probably beyond the heavens and back with anxiety right now, because this is, you know, with this pandemic and everything, and it's finally coming down, and then some things happened over the weekend at work, or on Friday at work, that have just, I don't want to get into a lot of things. I just want to feel good again. I just want my life to get on an even keel. I've set goals for next work year, and I've decided that I'm going to share these goals with you guys, and I'm going to start my book. I'm going to start a lot of things, and I'm going to share these goals with you guys. I'm going to start keeping a paper trail on my computer. I'm going to start carrying a laptop with me. I'm going to start doing a lot more vlogging and stuff like that. And if in a year, if I'm not happy and content with my job, I'm leaving it. I'm going to find something else, or another school or something, to where I'm content, because I've been very miscontent at this school. If I have to go back to the district I was in before where I was happy, I'll do that, but I'm not going to stay in a district where I'm unhappy. I don't know if it's a male to female thing where people have just treated me very unhappy, or I don't know if I'm going to have to go to the district office and talk about how I have found myself treated as a male versus a female situation, or what it's like, because I have felt like that since I started in this district as a man, being treated so badly by women, or what it is. But if I have to go in that route, I will. But and there are some cases I do have paranoia right now. I have had that for a long time. My paranoia has gotten out of control over the years, especially as I've gotten older. It's more as I've gotten older. It's more, oh God, someone's out to get me. Oh God, this, that, and the other. And I realize that, and I understand that. I'm trying to work on that. It's definitely something that I've got. I take to heart a lot of things people say to me when I'm given criticism, good or bad. I try to work on the good. I try to say, okay, that's a positive thing in my part. And when I'm given negative feedback, I try to learn from it, because feedback is what makes the world go round. Without feedback, I like constructive criticism, not destructive criticism, first of all. And I believe every human should thrive on constructive criticism. Certainly, criticism, we all need it to survive as humans. I mean, if you don't, no one's perfect. And this constructive criticism is certainly what makes us survive. And we need constructive criticism, and we need criticism to make us feel better and to understand. But it's a way to give criticism. There's a way to let you know, and to come into it with a hostile environment and a hostile way to approach someone is not the way to do it. I'm not going to go into any more detail about it right now, because the more I talk about it, the more it sets me off, and this is not the time or the place. And I know a lot of people are very worried about me right now. Carol, I know, has wrote me several times. I know a lot of people have wrote me and have asked me, Maxine, and a few other people have wrote me and asked me how I'm doing. I'm not in a good place right now. Not like I'm not a suicidal person. Please don't be trying to do wellness checks on me. I'm not ever like that. I am very depressed, and that's what my therapist says. I'm very depressed, but I'm not a suicidal depressed kind of person, and that's what you guys don't understand. I'm a manic depressed person where I like buy crazy things, and that's what I'm trying to be careful. Like, I don't want to come home with like some brand new car. Here's my my brand new sports car that I bought in my midlife crisis. I'm that kind of depressed person, manic depressed. I'm not a suicidal depressed person. I'm not a that type of person, or I get really happy go lucky. I have decided that I'm off Monday. I was gonna pick up a shift at Target, but I've decided that I'm gonna do a me day. I'm going to get my glasses fixed, because you see they're kind of messed up. But I'm going to go see a chiropractor, or I'm either gonna maybe go to the park and go for a walk for a little while early in the morning. But I'm just going to have a me day. I'm going to have a mental day. I'm going to take some time to just think. I'm going to let my brain just kind of function. I'm not going to worry about anything. I'm just going to have some time to relax. I'm not going to let my brain rush about anything, freak out about anything, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to chill for the day. I'm just going to let it go, and I'm just going to have fun, because I've realized that at least once a week, on one of my days off, I'm going to have it, whether it be a day where I have to go back to having a day. And it used to be my days where I would live stream with you guys, and that was so much fun. And if it has to go back to being that, to be my mental health day, or if it has to go back to being the days that I go for a walk or something. And I do have a goal of trying to slim down and lose some weight this summer, but damn, it's hot here in the South, guys. It is right now, and it's only May. But Target's not even my problem right now. Target's a problem, and I will find out this week about the summer school job. By the way, I know a couple people have asked me about that, and I have not heard anything yet. I'm waiting to hear. But guys, I love you all, and that's where I'm at. I'm not going to talk anymore about it, but just know that I love you guys. But my anxiety is so out of the roof right now. It is just out of the roof. I am crazy right now, anxiety-wise. But I love you guys, and I'm still here. I will be doing a live stream as soon as I can. Fast as I can. Just give me a couple days to get myself together, and we will get together and we will hang out. But hang out and a live stream, and as soon as I get back on medication, I will be doing some live streaming and talking to you guys. If you guys want to wish me well or whatever, please do so. I love you guys. Remember, hating is a disease, and some folks need to get well soon. Bye.